Hi, so in this video we're going to have a look at doing our photorealistic for output 6. So I have opened here an assembly, and the first thing you'll need to do here is go up to the top, go to add-ins and turn on Photo View 360. Hit OK. Also here, if it's not up here in your render tools, if your render tools is turned off and you don't have it on the bar up there at the top, right click, put it on. Now usually when you're in SolidWorks you're used to being in the design feature tree, that section there. So where we want to go to this time now is we want to go into the display manager. Now there's different things there you can look at. There's your appearances, decals if you want to look at them, or you can look at view and light scenes here. So I have opened the model, so what you want to do is you want to kind of get your few best shots you can out of the model. So for example, here's an old output 6 one here. Now you wouldn't have to have as many as that in it. This was an A1 project in this time. I'd say 5 or 6 images would be plenty there. So that'd be another version of one. So we'll go back here and we'll create just 1 or 2 images and you get the idea, and also how to manipulate the environment. Okay. So you have up here the scenes. If I double click on that, I can drag and drop in a background into that if I want. Excuse me. Now there's different things we might want to do with that there. This one, as it looks like the drone is off the ground here, but if it wasn't, you can manipulate this here and you can set the distance to increase that up further from the ground, so it might actually look like the drone is flying, which is kind of cool. So other things you can do there is using the environment there to play around with. This is what they want to see, so that you didn't just do the basic minimum. So you can go in there, maybe you want to create a gradient background. So I don't know, maybe if you want to put in blue like we're flying over water or something. Now of course you can select other appearances, but they shouldn't be too distracting, I would say, to you at the same time. And you might want to make that white. Go OK, hit OK there. So if we want to now straight away, if you just want to do, if you're in a rush doing it, you could just go up here to render tools now, and you could hit zoom in a bit, hit a preview window there. Now this will give you a quick snapshot of what your photorealistic image would look like. Okay, and you can close out that there. Now sometimes you can move it around in that, but I wouldn't recommend you doing it. That's putting a lot of thinking on the computer, and it's slow as well. So I'd always close out that. I'd get the shot I want. So let's say we wanted an underbody shot, for example, and I'd hit the preview window, and that'll open up again. And if I was happy with that, I would then close out that, and then I would go for a final render. So final render even takes a bit more time. Now you can adjust the settings on this, but I wouldn't go too crazy on them, because the higher the res you take, the longer it can take. Okay, so I seen resolution was a good few years back, but it took, we'll say, nearly almost a day to complete. So don't go too crazy on it. So this one, when you're happy with that, then let's say you were happy with that, you could go save preview image, and I could save that into my folder on my desktop. So I'll go in there, DCG, drone, and I'm going to photorealistic, and let's say I just call that whatever I want, under body shot, and that'll do it there, and you hit save. And that picture has gone in there, so you can just insert that then into your PowerPoint after that. Now if you want to do a couple of more things, right, so that would be just a very basic quick way of getting an image. You can go over here and you can play around with the lighting in it as well. So that's the scene. We put in a gradient background there. You can go in here and you can play around with the lights as well, and the camera. So you can turn these guys on and off if you want. So if you turn it off, it can darken it down. You can have directional lights then, so you can actually edit these directional lights if you want. So it's like being on a stage and the spotlights, so you can play around with them there. Other things you can do there with that light too is you can actually add in another one, I believe, there. So you can add spotlight, okay, and you can play around with the light in there. But this will be going into a lot of detail, probably over the top of what you would need. Something else there, that's a spotlight, a point light. So I wouldn't really bother going in too much into that. It's just to show you it is there if you want to have a play around with it, if you have time to do. So I'll just turn back on the light there. And actually that was a directional light. You can add in the directional light there if you want to, which would be like another one of these lights here. So the camera there is something interesting to look at as well. So if we double click on that, and I can go add camera. Now this shows me here where the model is and where the focus of the camera is on the red dot. Now you have a blue box here which is target by selection. So if I zoomed in there, let's say now I wanted, when the camera is on this, the main focus of it to be on the front nose there of the model, right? I could then drag in this camera as I see fit. Okay, actually reminds me of the movies there when you go in too close, sounds like you walk into the camera, but you can drag that away around any way you want, and it does give I think better shots when you do that. Also the perspective is turned on here. If it wasn't, make sure you turn on perspective, always give a more realistic view. And let's say I like that shot now. I think that's a better underbody shot, so I might go okay. This comes up, and what I'll do now is I'll go in there and I'll do a final render of this and see what it looks like in comparison to my other one. So I do think from just playing around with my experience that adding in a camera does give a better quality shot. Okay, so if I like that one again, I might go save preview image and go new underbody shot. I'll save that one. So you can still crop these pictures and put them into your PowerPoint then when you're happy with them. Now I get out of that for a minute, so you can see my extra camera I added in there, so I'll just delete that guy for a while. Press F to go off your screen. So again, at any stage, if you want to, then we'll say for example, take a shot of the propeller, and your propeller wants to be the main focus here. I might just target the focus to selection on that there, and I might drag in here to get a better look at the propeller. So you can drag by the orange ball, and you can drag by the blue arrow as well, okay, and the green arrow as well if you wanted to go up a bit there to tilt it, okay. And if you want, then of course you hit OK there. You can go back in then, and we'll hit a final render on that as well. And so no more than 5 or 6 images really is plenty to have in it. So have your main 3D body. If you want an overshot and undershot, maybe you want to put something underneath it, like some kind of ground if you want to do that, but it wouldn't have the background, as I said, being too distracting. So just wait for that resolution to come in there, and that looks pretty good now, so I'm happy with that. So I hit save there as well. Call that just propeller, and I will close out that then. So, and I'll come out of this, delete that camera, and I'll add in another one then. Press F there to zoom back in for whatever I want to do next. So maybe you want to do a shot of the camera, maybe you want to do a shot on the leg, or some kind of other feature on the body. So that's it really, folks. There's a quick way that I showed you at the start of the video, and if you want to go into a bit more detail to kind of get better quality shots, do put in the camera, play around with the lights. Perhaps you want to put in a ground there. Sometimes people actually put the assembly into and a quick assembly they might have made, we'll say, with just a flat plane with water on it. Might look like the quadcopter is flying over water, but that's up to you. So that's all, folks.